Hammertime with Tim Horns here in the East End, and have two gentlemen with us tonight, and they can introduce themselves.
Ron Schinners.
Mark Brown.
And we're here tonight to talk about the petition to change the name back to Memorial Gardens. And I would like to ask the gentlemen what motivated you two gentlemen to do this, and what do you think the end result's going to be?
Well, I can tell you what motivated me. I was at getting my hair cut this past summer, and I ran into Ron. And at the time, I was completely oblivious to this. I was completely oblivious to the situation about the renaming and the war memorial aspect of the arena. And Ron educated me about, we don't go around demolishing war memorials, and how the people of 1946 had voted to erect a war memorial arena so that future generations could use it and be given the chance to remember the sacrifices of the people whose brothers and fathers and cousins and uncles had recently died in the war, the people of 1946. They had just come out of World War II, and it was really important for them to do something that was different from the cenotaph, which you stand in front of once a year and you remember, or you go down and you spend a moment of silent reflection. They wanted something that future generations could actually use. So Ron motivated me, and I said, hey, Ron, maybe sometime in the near future the name might be able to come up, be available to be recaptured. So just be prepared to go if that opportunity presents itself. And so that's how I got motivated.
What did you run?
How I got motivated was, there was a misunderstanding when the original arena project came about. I was all for a new arena, but I was always also for the fact that it should have been a plus a bit before that. But this arena was built by our parents back in the 40s, and it was dedicated in 1949 as a war memorial. And that's what the aspect of this thing is. The memorial tower, from the stories I've heard from people around the community, was actually a donation from the Dutch government. I'm working on verifying that information. And when I look at the new Steelback Centre, well, Memorial Gardens I like to refer to, like most people in the city who I've talked to and collecting names in petition with this petition, they all ask why did they change the name. Like with them, I said that was City Council's decision and the steering committee's decision to do that. But I found that in this country, we don't destroy war memorials. We either refurbish them or rebuild them. I was looking on the internet tonight. One of the communities out west, they demolished a war memorial, did the decommissioning ceremony of it, and then recently did a recommissioning of the new war memorial, which is bigger and better than what it was. And this is what we have here in Sault Ste. Marie with our new sports entertainment facility. The tower, the memorial tower was kept, and that was fantastic, did that. But now what we need to do is have the rest of the war memorial put back into place and have that completed. If you go into the new arena, you'll notice that on the foyer there is the memorial plaques that are there. There's the angels, the stained glass, the Hockey Hall of Fame, and all the things there that were basically part of the old arena. So this is one thing that needs to be done. And if you, I'll say to all those people out there who didn't get a chance to sign the petition, you're welcome to give either one of us a call. We'll gladly take your name and or come out and get you to sign the petition. But we have a few weeks, but we're officially turning it down today because we're still working on it. We're gonna do all the counting up of all the names and stuff and come up with an official number. And at this time, I like that.
What's the number right now? A rough guess.
A rough guess right now, I would say, well, we close that. Mark, you got an idea?
Yeah, we're easily over 8,000. We're easily over 8,000, and I've got about half the stores left to collect from. They're gonna, when Ron says it's officially closed, we won't be collecting signatures in stores anymore, and we're taking the next week to have all our about 55 volunteers submit their signatures to the Legion at the office during regular business hours. So by the end of the week,
I want to ask you guys, have you met any resistance to this petition at all for other reasons? Why as you go to the door and someone says,
resistance. I haven't met. I've met some resistance people that say, "Well, I could carry either way. I'm not from here," you know. But the majority of the people I found, I had, you know, and I had people crying, signing the petition, crying, "Why did they do this?" You know, and it was sad because a lot of people, they assumed, and I hate to use the word assume because we all know what that means, and what we find with that is the majority of the people I found and signed the petition didn't expect a name change. They thought that Memorial Gardens name would somehow be kept with it on the new facility.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of, you know, good response to the petition. People were actually grabbing for the pen, but there was opposition. I mean, I found when talking to younger people who had the impression that we wanted to just go strictly with the old name, Sault Memorial Gardens, they thought, you know, we want to move forward, we want to go ahead. So that is fully incorporated into our petition.
so you're basically saying is you can still go ahead, but preserve what you believe is right.
Yeah, basically the petition says that the name Sault Memorial Gardens be permanently on the building forever, and that the sponsorship portion, which we fully expect our city council will direct staff to do to get a sponsor, is sold to the highest bidder, so to save the taxpayers money and to keep it fresh sounding for future generations.
So when do you think you'll bring this to city council?
Well, we've been told that that city legal staff has been advising the city council that they don't want to have to deal with this until after the bankruptcy protection has been lifted.
When's that? Do you know? About the bankruptcy protection?
A judge has set the end of the bankruptcy protection to be May 16th. But it's been recently announced by the new president of Steelback that he plans on starting up business on May the 1st in a Tiverton news source. So, I mean, we won't, you know, as far as I know, be presenting to council until after the 16th of May. But going back to the question of resistance, there are also, you know, veterans who feel that having a sponsor with the name cheapens the name. But we found that, you know, a lot of the people who were reluctant at first, who didn't understand, who thought that it would cost taxpayers, we found that once we explained that we do want a sponsor, that the sponsor will pay the $67,500 a year at least for the naming rights.
So what do you think your chances are of getting this through?
Well, it all depends on whether City Council has an open mind and an open ear. I mean, really, I can't think of, there's only really a handful of people who are against the thing, because what we're asking is a sponsor to save the taxpayers some money, and the historical name that contains 57 years of hockey history. It contains, you know, it was a war memorial, and that was the name that was given as a gift to future generations by the people of 1946.
Do you think you would have more petitions, but there's other issues on the board for this community, like the ER crisis and stuff, and it's being detracting from what you guys are doing?
Well, you know, there's all kinds of very important issues. I mean, healthcare. I can't imagine any bigger issue than healthcare. But I mean, this is equally important to a lot of people who have lined up and found a way to sign the petition.
Thank you very much for your comments tonight, and I think the people of Sault appreciate your comments.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, Janessa.
Thank you for the opportunity, Janessa.
You're welcome.